Ka tai no, ka tai mai ki te wā o te mokana i te wā. Ngā pau toko, ngā pau hau ka puta mai. Ko te mea tuatahi ko ngā whakapono, ko te mea tua ko ngā whainga, ara ko ngā goals me ngā aspirations, ngā wawata hoki. I raro i taua mea ngā wawata, ngā hia. A muri i te wā o te ngāpuhi, a muri hoki te tainga mai o ngā mihi nāre ki reira, ka aro ngā whānau ki ngā whānau, kia whānau, kia whakakahangia. Koine te mea tuatahi. Mo te mea o tēnei mea te whainga, ka tahi ngā mea ka putunga mai te whainga atu o tēnei mea o te mātauranga. Te mātauranga o te tinana, ngā mātauranga o te Whairawa, ngā mātauranga o te hinangaro. Koinei mea ara ngā skills, ngā knowledge, ngā capacities, ara ngā mea o te strengthening whānau relationships. So if we're moving on now from Morkanas, the leadership, we're indicating that these were the directions to go. There was a move to strengthen each hapu, support one another, and to push that right across the whole of the rohe of Ngati Porou. Why? Because they were seeing what was happening in other tribes. Amongst these things, of course, was to look at how the legislation which was leading to confiscation in other places, for Ngati Porou to develop what I quite proudly called the kaupapa approach. The kaupapa approach was not actually picking the British side or the message that were coming from the Waikato and other areas. The message was about looking after and strengthening our own whānau and hapu, right across the board, right across Ngati Porou. And that's what I mean about the leadership suddenly changing into a wider expanse. On the other side, the need to grow the skills, the capacities and the knowledge. Why do you think shipbuilding, why do you think building flour factories, why do you think the ability to trade right across, all around the borders of Aotearoa and right across to Melbourne and other places were occurring? These were because of the rapid approach to mātauranga by our tribes, especially in the Waiapu, Hikurangi, Whangaokina area that were doing this. So on the one hand then, we are seeing a language change, we are seeing goals and aspirations, we are seeing the growth of a new model of rangatiratanga, we are seeing the marketing, we are seeing the shipbuilding, we are seeing the acquisition, rapid acquisition. We also ought to make mention of the fact that in the corporate existence of Waiapu, of Horoira, of Wharekāhika and other areas, we already had the corporate factory. We already had the ability to work together to produce the project and put it into the appropriate package to take and land in the emerging urban areas of Auckland, Wellington, Melbourne and other areas. So when we come to all those things and we look at the aspirations and goals, then as a result of that, we need to make the analysis of the synthesizing of the managing strategies that they use. And here's the examples that are already in front of us. Each of our hapu, when they were working the wheat fields, when they were working on the boats, we already had the management strategy in sync from hapu to hapu, right across the Ngati Porou rohe. You know, it ought to be inspirational for what we do in the future. On the other side of things, and this, by the way, is still also important with the new age of IT coming. The only difference is we've got the internet, but I think the same things apply there. And we've got to look at how we corporatise the way our whānau work. So things like growing investment entities within our whānau groupings, because it's not by farming, this farm here, it's not by tourism that coming there. This whānau and other hapus for us need to grow by the establishment of investment entities. Now, I'm not preaching, but I'm trying to look at the model that they were looking at then. What else was buying ships? What else was carting cargo but an investment in their own people, an investment in capital to acquiring shipbuilding, the technology to do it? I do not know why our families have gone bankrupt in terms of inspiring our children to get out there and access the education that's needed for the new times, and our whānau to come together. We haven't got the time. We need to look at our land, we need to look at our people and organise ourselves. So we've got proper entities to be able to grow investment structures so that we can better distribute capital to develop our farms, to support the quotas, to support the fishing, the boats that our own family have, to get them more extensive quota, to be able to take it as well, not just to feed the New Zealand market, but to be able to get to other countries so that we're in the distribution chains in other areas. These are some of the messages that I can see that are rising out of those aspirations, those goals, because from those you are going to end up with project leadership, with appropriate budgeting for those particular. You just need the leadership. With the sun going down, ka tohi noa ka tae ki te otinga o taku kōrero, ko he poto, waiho tērā, mō Ngati Porou.